ready for the tea that I promised. So, let's get into it. First, of course, we have to get the tea because I am thirsty. And I am sounding a lot better. Turns out the flu was just a 24-hour thing, so let me just get my tea. Move that out of the way. There we go. We've got some tea. Now, let me get into it. So, I was going to talk about my kids first, but I've been putting off something for a while. And I think I should cover that first because that's the real tea. So, this is something that's happened a few weeks ago. So, without further ado, let's get into this. So, a few weeks ago, I was doing my own thing. I was about to go to bed when someone slid into my DMs. He said hi. I went, okay, well, I'm not going to be rude, so I said hi back. And he said, what are you doing? I said, nothing much. And I said, how about you? He said, nothing, just sim hopping, basically. And he said, I know you're engaged, but do you want to hang out? Like, go dancing, I think he said dancing. And I stupidly said, sure. So what I did was took him to Club XL. It's the only place I really know. That is pretty good, and we danced, but he was getting really laggy there. There was a lot of people, but I deliberately did that because safety in numbers. So he asked, like after not long at all, he asked if I wanted to go to his place and chill by the fire, and I said no, I prefer a mutual place because I have been taught this, but what's really funny is what went through my head was, no, Shell Janera said meet in a mutual place because I had watched her video on the relationships, like her story time. Actually, no, her collab with someone. And that's what oh my gosh, these things, seriously. Okay, I'll slide you down there. Okay, so that's what I did. I went to a public lounge, and there were people around and everything, so it was all good. And we got talking, And when I say this, it's crazy. Like, it went from a casual, friendly chat to this man's planning my future with me, like the future with me. And like, I'm okay with compliments, but from "you're beautiful" to baby and I'm his goddess, and I had a lot of nicknames that day. um, and then he was wanting to, like, I was talking to him about my career and I was, engaging in conversation. And he said he was previously into psychology. And I said, would he ever do that again? He goes, that depends. This man was literally pushing the subject of me getting with him. And keep in mind, he knew I was engaged. So, eventually he was moving himself in and everything in my house, my town, my career. Like, he wanted to work with me. He wanted to open a practice up with me. It was speeding up really fast, and I was trying to put on the brakes, and it wasn't helping that he was all lathering up the charm. So then he said he would love to meet his future kids, and then I was like, what? And then he said, even better, our future kids. Yeah. I said, well, they're not on. And, so anyway, he was really, really being all sweet talk, and I felt pretty bad. Yes, I'm engaged. I was actually newly engaged at the time. And I don't know why my morals just flew out the door. So in less than an hour, he was calling me beautiful, to goddess, to baby, all that stuff. And I needed a break. Like, I said I had to go. I had a headache. That was true. I did have a headache. And I went off. I saved the chat. Now, when you're in a situation like this, save your conversation and get back to it. Like, you come off fine, check it out, see where the red flags are, because this man had a lot of red flags. And like, before meeting him, I was looking to, like, relationship advice, on SL dating, what people's experiences were. It was amazing. Like, I had all the tools I needed to protect myself, and it sort of worked, but sort of didn't. So he was saying that he was very honest, so to speak, like, very straightforward type guy, but then he's like, I told him, just slow it down, and he wasn't slowing it down at all. So bear in mind, this man had me thinking I should be marrying him and not Seb, and yeah. So, fast forward to the next night, actually. He was back in town, wanting to meet up, but Malia had just come on. And she was insistent on getting a cupcake, my famous cupcakes. And so, and out of character, she wanted to meet him because I told her all about him. And she was ready to, well, have a go at him. So, we met up and she went from protective mode to falling for his charms as well. He was all sweet to her. He was really layering it on, like trying to get in her good books, and it worked. Calling her like, I forgot what he said, but it was a lot. And only time she put the brakes on was when he said, "You're my princess. You're my little princess." And she's like, that's a little forward, don't you think? Well, your mum's the queen, so you're my princess. And she's like, uh-huh. Yeah. So then Narissa came online in the morning, SL time, and I didn't have a babysitter available, and he wanted to meet up. And I said, just a sec, I'm trying to get a babysitter. No one was around. It's like, okay, you know what? We're going to do this. So he wasn't going to go away if I didn't. So met up. Narissa was total opposite to Mina. So she knew something was up because I didn't tell her. I didn't get a chance to tell her, Seeley, what was going on, and he wouldn't tell her the truth, what his intentions were. So she said in my DMs what's going on, so I told her, and she really gave him the cold shoulder. He was like really trying, like, do you want, like, I'm trying to buy you to a puppy, no, a pony. And she's like, why? Because she was really confused at the time. And I had her in the stroller, and he wanted me to turn her to face him. He was on the ground. And I don't know why I did it, but I did. And then he goes, because I heard you liked horses. And she goes, yes, but no room. And goes, okay, what do you want? Do you want a puppy? No. Do you want a cat? No. It's like, I know, do you want a dress? Mummy gives me lots of dresses. And he noticed the cold shoulder. And then eventually it was like, Narissa had enough. She climbed out of her stroller and she ran towards the road. Like, I quickly got up, ran after her, grabbed her, brought her back and said, look, I am going to take her home and talk, because he wanted to take her to the park and she just wasn't having a bar of it. And he goes, okay, I'll be at the park, on the slide, having fun, blah, 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 you know, trying to convince her it's a great idea to go to the park at, keep in mind, midnight. Okay, so we went home and Narissa was so clingy, she wouldn't let go of me, and she ended up falling asleep in my bed on top of me, like clinging tight. And the next thing I know, I get a message like 5 minutes later. I get a message saying, "Can you hear that?" I was like, "Hear what?" He goes, "I'm honking at you." And he knew I was trying to deal with my daughter. And all I could hear was this stupid car honking at me when I was trying to keep Narissa calm and asleep. And she got really agitated in real life. And I had no choice but to try and get her off me because he was going to wake the neighbours up. And like, he could have gotten me kicked out. Seriously, it was too much. So I went out to him and Narissa went offline. She wouldn't talk to me. She wasn't very happy. And he goes, "Is this causing you more heartache than what it's worth?" I went, "Honestly, if my kid says no, it's no." Okay. And then, after that, he goes, "If I brought a motorbike, would you come with me? Come for a ride with me?" I went, "No, I'm just gonna go offline." And he goes, "Okay, baby, talk to you soon." I just said no, and he wanted. He just didn't take it. Like, he didn't get it. And that was that. I thankfully sorted things out with Narissa, and she was talking to me again. But like, this man had been throwing my name out there, saying he's a friend of mine. He wants a job, all this stuff, and it was getting the higher ups pretty annoyed. So it wasn't gonna work. But after all this, I spoke to Seb, telling him what's happened. I felt so bad for what I allowed, and he just said, "Did you instigate it?" I went, "No." He goes, "Did anything happen?" I went, "No. What happened was he put me in his lap and without my permission, and so we just talked it out and we're back to getting married." And then talking to Narissa's father, that was interesting. He was pretty pissed that I let her near this stranger, and yeah, I got a lecture, but I am a part of the pack and I have responsibilities, and I wasn't very responsible when it came to being there for my kids. So that's the end of that story time. um, but what I got out of it was like, I don't regret this because it's an experience and it's lessons learned. Sure, I'm engaged. Sure, I let this happen while in a relationship, but even you guys would know, some of you guys, or most of you guys, I don't know, would know that when you're in a situation like this and you're not thinking straight because of the overwhelming charms or whatever, your morals go out the door. That's exactly what happened. Like, the rose-colored glasses were blinding, and I lost track of what was important. So if any of you want to do a reaction to this video, be my guest. I would love to hear your opinions and see your reactions. Like, yeah. So until next time, don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification button and I will see you again soon. Bye, beauties.